Spanning east to west, you'll find this controversial £6.6 billion new railway. Its 66 kilometres of new track aims to connect two of the world's most historic cities, with the potential to have a humongous impact on the UK's economy.
But with part of the railway already completed, the whole project hangs in the balance. In this video, I'm going to dig into the good, the bad and the ugly to find out whether this major infrastructure project can survive. But taking a look at the past shows it didn't have to be like this. The original Varsity line opened in 1862 and connected Oxford to Cambridge, becoming a successful cross-country route. During the devastating 1963 Beeching cuts, a third of Britain's railway network closed, but the Varsity line survived. Even Dr. Beeching himself recognised its significance to the region. So why did it close? Well, in a world where cars were seen as the next big thing, road transportation was prioritised, and in a devastating cost-cutting exercise, passenger services were officially withdrawn on the 1st of January 1968. But what actually is the East West Rail project? I spoke to Stuart Ratcliffe from Inside East West Rail to find out more.
So, in simple terms, East West Rail is a railway line that is designed to connect Oxford, Milton Keynes, Bedford and Cambridge. The idea of having a connection between those two university cities has been discussed for a very long time, but it was given serious impetus in around about 2018 when the government formed the East West Rail Company.
The railway itself is being built in three major stages. First, with linking Oxford to Bletchley and Milton Keynes, then extending services to Bedford, before finally completing the most difficult and controversial section into Cambridge. The potential impact is huge. The government says that the railway could boost the region's economy by as much as £6.7 billion a year, and the Chancellor has argued that it could support up to 28,000 new jobs.
But it hasn't been straightforward. With an expected completion date in the late 2030s, the project has been beset with challenges, with disputes over the planned route, frustrations over completed sections of the project, and repeated delays over major station openings. The public are right to question if the project is really on track.
Rebuilding a railway across some of England's fastest growing regions was never going to be simple. While much of the original Varsity line closed in 1968, large sections of the old route can no longer be reused. Around Cambridge, sections are now occupied by the Cambridgeshire Guided Busway. That means that East West Rail cannot simply lay new track where the old railway once stood. Instead, engineers have had to design entirely new sections of the railway between Bedford and Cambridge.
This wasn't the only problem. Powering the trains on the route into Cambridge became a complex issue.
We don't want East West Rail to be a diesel railway, so we have a proposal for it to be what we call discontinuous electrification. So therefore, parts of the line will be electrified, and then parts of the line where it's not electrified, the trains will run on batteries.
If successful, the system could become one of the UK's largest examples of a hybrid battery-electric rail technology. But this part of the route still requires going through a lengthy planning permission process in the form of obtaining a development consent order before construction can even get started. And yet there's something peculiar happening even on the progressing sections of the project. The completed section of the line from Oxford to Milton Keynes expected to have frequent passenger services running from early 2025. Now, over a year later, there is still no target date for Chiltern Railways to open up the line to passengers. So what went wrong?
East West Rail is a infrastructure delivery agency. So, our job was to design the railway and then build the railway. And we handed that completed railway over to Network Rail in December 24. Passenger services were due to start December 25, and they're just trying to work with the unions at the moment to agree operating procedures. And it all comes back to whether those trains have a safety critical member of staff on board aside from the drivers. East West Rail isn't at those discussions. That's between the Department for Transport, Chiltern and the unions.
With blame being shifted around different parts of the system, who knows when passengers will actually be able to travel direct from Milton Keynes to Oxford. But there is hope.
Here, just south of the city centre, construction is well underway on Cambridge South Railway Station. When the project is complete, East West Rail will link Oxford and central Cambridge directly to this rapidly expanding science and technology hub.
But it has not been smooth sailing. This station was scheduled to open in 2025 but was subsequently delayed twice. Network Rail is hopeful that Cambridge South will open next month, with all passing services calling at the station, resulting in a service provision expected to be similar to service levels at Cambridge Station. There are concerns, however, that the new station is being designed with insufficient capacity for the likely volume of passengers it will see in the upcoming years. Now as for sort of the biggest question running through this whole project, do you think it will ever be completed?
I absolutely believe it will be completed as a railway project. It's a project that had backing from the last government, the Conservative government, from this government, a Labour government, and it's unusual to kind of get cross-party agreement on the importance of a piece of infrastructure. And, part of the railway has been completed and, plans are very advanced to complete the rest of it. And so I absolutely believe that it will happen.
This project had its challenges, but that will never detract from its long-term impact, stretching decades into the future and enabling millions of shorter journeys, as well as helping to shape the United Kingdom's transport infrastructure. In time, the cost of the project may be forgotten, and the line itself will likely be taken for granted as part of the fabric of this country. Now that's all from me down here in Cambridge. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, and if you've enjoyed this video, this one too might take your fancy.